We heard that Tirana is a city on the move, but this is a whole other level. We can't believe the traffic or the people or the noise. Tirana is supposed to be an exciting, fast-developing city, but wow, it's even more wild than we expected. It's a city of just 500,000, but it actually feels much bigger. There are just so many cars and people. It's definitely going to be a very interesting experience making this city our home for the month.
We're here to see what Tirana is all about today. This city and Albania in general have had a very turbulent history, but it's officially on the tourist map now, and we want to see what's on offer.
So as usual, the first thing we like to do when we arrive in a new city is get ourselves set up. So that means checking out our neighborhood, finding the best places to eat, picking up a few groceries, and most importantly, taking that first look at our Airbnb. Of course, we're not just here as tourists, we're slow travelers, so we spend a month or two in each destination, and we want to make each city that we visit feel just like home.
Of course, that isn't the easiest thing to accomplish when we're brand new to a city and we really don't know the language or the culture, but we're going to do our best to make it our home for the month. But first, a big hello to all you nomads and adventurers from Tirana, Albania. If you're new around here, I'm Gillian and this is Stephanie. We retired early to travel full-time and we're here to bring a little more freedom into your life. So we've just arrived here after spending a couple of very quiet weeks hiking in the Albanian Alps. And of course, Tirana is nothing like the mountains. So we're here in our new neighborhood and there's just a ton of traffic and noise. Normally when we're choosing our Airbnbs, we pick the neighborhood first, somewhere really central and close to the main sites, and then we try to find an apartment. Well, this time we found an apartment that we're really excited about, and this is the neighborhood that came with it. But what we liked about it was this canal right out front. It adds some green space and a little ambiance. At least that's what we saw on Google Maps. Now that we're here, I'd say really the traffic is what stands out the most. But actually, looking closer, this neighborhood does have a lot to offer. There's a ton of restaurants, cafes, and so much character. It's definitely not a tourist area, it's a regular neighborhood with regular people, and we can find everything that we need right here. So we will go inside to show you our apartment, but first, let's take a look around and find out where we'll be doing our dining out while we're here.
All right, let's go find some restaurants. So even though Tirana is very busy and full of cars, it's actually a really green city. I'm surprised by the number of trees. So we're here in the neighborhood of Bloku, so it's just minutes away from our apartment, and this is one of the most famous neighborhoods in Tirana. So back during the communist era, it was exclusively for high-ranking party members, but now it's open to everyone, and it's where you can find a lot of the stylish cafes and tons of international dining options. So we did do a lot of research about restaurants before we arrived, and what we discovered is that there aren't too many restaurants in Tirana that offer that traditional Albanian cuisine. It's a lot more common to find Italian food, so it looks like we'll probably have some pizza and some pasta while we're here. Either way, there's really no limit on the options. On just about every corner, there's a cute cafe or restaurant. Some of them do look a little touristy, but generally we're really excited to see what the food scene here has to offer, especially because there are so many restaurants that dining out seems to be a big part of the lifestyle. Of course, we don't just dine out when we're traveling, we also love cooking at home. So let's head back and see what we can rustle up for dinner.
There are a ton of small markets in our neighborhood, so I'm sure we'll have no trouble finding what we need. Now, fish is really popular here in Tirana, so we're gonna head into the fish store to pick up something for dinner. Jo, faleminderit. Next, we'll head off and get some vegetables. Success! Got some tomatoes. So it's always an adventure shopping for the first time in a new city, but actually this went pretty smoothly. When I picked up the fish, all I had to do was point, and when I bought the tomatoes, she was kind enough to write down how much it was so I didn't have to fumble around with Google Translate. Now, I do try to learn a few words in each new country just to break the ice. So here in Albania, so far I've got the word përshëndetje, which means hello, and it's a bit of a mouthful, and as well faleminderit, which means thank you. Yet another long word. Now, I definitely make some mistakes along the way. For example, the word for no is yo, but the word for yes is po, and I get those confused all the time. I'll keep at it.
So we've definitely saved the best for last. We're about to take you inside and show you what our apartment looks like, and we're really excited about this one. But before we do that, we wanted to share something we never normally share, and that's the exterior of the building. And the reason we wanted to put it on camera today is because it looks a little worse for wear. This building has definitely seen some better days. It's very representative of the types of buildings that you find in this neighborhood. And it's good to know because sometimes in Airbnb, you can't really judge a book by the cover. So I think what's gonna happen is when we go inside, we're gonna see a really beautiful place. Wow, I thought this apartment was gonna be pretty nice, but this is even better than the photos. I love the living room. It's really spacious, it's light and bright, it's got great furniture. It's not just filled to the brim with IKEA. It also has this really lovely wraparound balcony, so I'm sure I'm gonna be spending a few mornings out there with my coffee. I'm loving the kitchen. It's really spacious. Someone has done an amazing job putting this together. The cupboards are just totally free of clutter. The drawers have all the stuff that you need, so it's fully equipped. The only thing missing is a dishwasher. I can just already feel Gillian rolling her eyes about that one, but everything else is just amazing. And this bathroom is so luxurious. We don't normally show you guys the bathrooms because they're not much to look at, but this one is really nice. I love how light and bright it is and how modern it looks. And finally, a really spacious bedroom. Very simple, free of clutter, lots of room for our stuff. Of course, this place did not come cheap by Tirana standards. As you know, we're not budget travelers, so we'll be sharing the cost for the apartment and everything else that we spend on when we do our roundup of monthly costs here in Tirana.
So we're all settled here in Tirana. We've got everything we need to feel at home for the month.
So sure, Tirana might be a lot to take in, but it also has a lot to offer, and I think we're gonna have a real adventure here. And of course, I love having a very comfortable apartment to come home to at the end of the day.
In fact, we've been doing really well with apartments on our travels so far, and we were especially happy with the last place we stayed back in Novi Sad, Serbia. It was perfect apartment in the perfect location, and if you want to check that out, you can click on the video right here.